Okay, now that warlock and his men, that's Morgan's subordinate. He is going to follow suit and attempt to flee the field if we don't stop him. So we're going to make him our new priority. Continue to ignore the werewolves who are not a danger to anybody whatsoever. Not for the most part. Now when the guards are out of range and they're not at full health, well, they're kind of fair game. But that's it. Same for the soldiers, they just didn't have enough health. It's their low base stats, that's what's really holding them back. If we were to face the same enemies later on, but with higher attack and defense, they would be much more of a nuisance. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah. They are in the mountains. They're going to be tough to kill. But Elwin's tough. He can take them. See? Granted, they were soldiers too, against a knight. I mean, there was only one way that could end. And now his men can get in as well. Oh, I thought they were going to be able to finish it off. They kind of stalled there. Keeping us guessing. I like it. And they're in the mountains now. They should be just fine. Yep. No damage done to us. Good stuff. He's got one left. Where can they go? I'd rather they attack the soldiers, but this will work out too. Not as well, but it was okay. Because we have Cherie here, and if her men, they could take care of it, but I don't want to send them out of her range. That's the thing. The good news is that the warlock can't get around us at all at this point, so probably want to just maintain our current position. Because provided her soldiers can make it into our next turn, they will recover being next to her. So this would be a good position to leave them in. That having been said, I think I want to spread them out a bit. Because she can heal. Okay. That group is taken care of. Now for these clowns. Go for it. Show the world what you can do. When clerics attack, part 2. The Awakening. Because if we've learned nothing else from Chris, that's Mina to you Warsong players. It's that people of the cloth know how to cut it up. Yeah, one-shot Scott ain't too bad himself. I mean, he did it at 7, so that's pretty impressive. Hein, where can you go? What can you do? I could probably have him attack them because they're at 4. Why not? Oh, right, and as a shaman, he's spazzing out there. Get away, get away, get away! Get away, get away, get away now. He actually does pretty good. It's a mild upgrade to his initial attack as a warlock, but it is better. It is an improvement. It doesn't take nearly as long to start dealing the damage. Still not ideal, but he will be getting some better stuff. Just you wait and see. For our mage to be. Spells that only a sorcerer could force through our staff of some unknown origin and power. And we don't have to worry about them next turn. That's a plus. Will give us time to get rid of what's left of the enemy, except not really because I don't want to take them out of command range. It's no point. Their natural attack is not nearly high enough for me to want to do that. Okay, only 3 left in that group, it looks like. Okay, they're both out of oh, no, they are in command range. Time to get those eyes examined. I probably should have picked up glasses a long time ago, incidentally enough, but I refuse. I would definitely get glasses for context, though. They just look so uncomfortable. Maybe it just depends on how sensitive your eyes are, huh? Anyway, 5 versus 1. I'll take it. Cherie! Because she gets mad when she's not attacking something. So let's keep her happy. You taking notes, Scott? That's how it's done. And even being in the mountains couldn't save them from that. Definitely want to keep Elwin on the offensive again as our primary protagonist. We want him to keep gaining XP as much and as often as we can. And he can make it. Because I want those knights to recover some health standing next to him. So I guess we'll send them out. They can reach after all. And not quite finish them off, surprisingly. And they had the terrain advantage. I mean, they didn't take any damage, you know. And really no point in treating him. He's got full MP. And he can't do anything with it anyway, so that would be why. Now, if I attack him, he probably would have taken decent damage, but there's a chance he would wipe them out, so I decided against that. Scott needs to be healed as well. Hein always needs to be healed, it seems. I guess I will try to send him up north after all. Because we're doing better than I expected to at this point. I kept going on and on about how the turns will go quickly, but we're halfway there. We still have 11 turns to finish this. How many turns will it take him to get to where Elwin is? Can we get there in 4 or 5 turns? Because if so, that would actually be worthwhile. At the same time, I don't want to drag this out and prolong it if I don't have to. You guys have other things to do today, I'm sure I do as well, so with that in mind, let's keep the heat on them. And you're 2, so what can you do? You're out of men, so this is the time. Scots, welcome to the one-shot stop. Courtesy of Scott, the Lord's son. Who, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this or if you noticed earlier, Scott and Lauren are from Salroth, aka Salros. I believe in the war song it was localized as Solorus, but it's all the same territory, it's all the same land. So it makes me wonder, are they direct descendants possibly of either Thorn or Duke Hawking, aka Duke Carleon? I wonder. It'd be kind of nice to know if they were, but even if they're not, they're from the same place, so it's nice to see some continuity. Always adds to the immersion factor when they build up on a world, instead of just throwing it all out with the bathwater each installment like Final Fantasy. No sense of connection, no sense of progression. Just a brand new bag each time, which has its pluses, but I prefer a little bit of linearity when it comes to things like that. It just allows the world and the setting, the plot, the personalities, it allows it all to build on itself. It gives it a little extra weight, I think, but that's just one person's opinion. As always, feel free to form your own. And you know what? I have an idea, but you know what? It's fine because he's all that he has left. Ooh, that was good. And he took so much damage earlier that he couldn't even deal very much himself. So yeah, why am I holding back? Go for it, guys. What's the danger? Somehow I don't believe him. Finally, Elwin gets attack up. The last thing he needed, but we're happy to have it. Now for these soldiers, kind of taking the terrain into account right now, so we're going to put them in the mountains, back off a bit, and we're just going to get her some more MP so she can heal again. She might be stuck on medic duty for the duration of this, which will be fine. It's still going to help her out. The way things are going, we can probably get her to class change in the next scenario, which would be perfect timing. Because ideally, you would have her in her next class before you reach scenario 7. Just keep that in mind. It'll be very useful come that time. Just like to keep you guys in the loop as to what I'm doing, so that this will make a little bit more sense, hopefully, if my actions sometimes seem a little bit unoptimal. There is a method to the madness at work here. Most of the time. Yeah, we'll have this wrapped up shortly. Yeah, they're not working with very much at this point, are they? Yeah, we can just send him out there now. No fear. You guys get some health back. Cherie. Soften them up. Just a smidge. And then there was one. And now there's none. Because there was no way. Now my only question is, do I give this experience to her or save it for Elwin? We're going to try to give it to her, see if she can do it. Close. Yeah, we're going to be patient. Let's give him, yeah. On the one hand, I can actually take the time to catch Hein up, surprisingly. But on the other hand, I don't know if it's worth it at this point. It really just comes down to who do I really want to have this XP. Because if we want it to be Hein, we can make it happen. Sky Sally, there's no hope for him to make it, or Liana. But the good news is he is very close to a level up here, so he really doesn't need to go anywhere. Oh, yes. Come on, guys. I see the light. Go for it. This needs to happen right now. Those magic words, those 2 magic words, level up. And those 2 magic words, class change. Sky can become a Hawk Knight, a Knight, or a Lord. If you're playing this on your own, you might want to consider Knight for him. But we're going to go for that extra attack and that aerial movement and make him a Hawk Knight. I know I do a terrible bird. I'm just so excited because this is one of my favorite early classes you have access to, and it's going to allow him to get around a much better. And just really stay in the fight whenever we need him to. And get out of the way when we need him to. Wow, that was a poor showing all around. But you're ahead of your pack. You couldn't do even 1 damage to them? Is their defense that good? For shame. For shame. So what's left here are virtually non-entities at this point. We can just pick them off at our leisure. As far as this commander, who do we want to have the experience? She is a lower level. I guess it'll go to Cherie. We want to prioritize Elwin most of the time, but the supporting staff, we don't want to neglect them either, so it's a balancing act at all times. And besides, this way we can get him involved in that group and he can get his experience that way. As always, the commanders are going to be worth more, but you don't want to ignore the peons either. It does add up, just like pennies. Save them, you never know what it could add up to, unless you do. might be pleasantly surprised in the end. Yeah, we pretty much have this under wraps. May not even wait for Hein to make it, because we won't have any problems catching him up in a later battle. I'm not worried about that. All the same, we'll continue to move him. And I guess I probably overdid it with his pikemen, but again, I expected him to get further at the start. They would have been more helpful that way. As it turned out, not so much. Eventually he will learn some magic as a Hawk Knight. Offensive magic. Gonna have to work up to that though. Here you get a quick look at him. A good debut there. Hawk Knights are not known for their defense, but they do get an inherent plus 25% over most terrain as an aerial unit, so they have that working for them. I may try to give this one to Liana since he just classed up, but I'd be fine if he took it too. I don't think the soldiers will be able to finish them off at 6, or 5 rather. But on occasion, life will surprise. So Liana, I guess you're gonna get your experience the old-fashioned way. And I think we're done. And this battle almost is as well. They don't have too much. Perhaps the next turn we can bid them adieu. Gotta give them credit, they do remain aggressive. Whereas a lot of enemy units will back off and stay timid in a situation like this, the werewolves, they just keep coming at you. It's all they know. So people at home, please, open up a book and read sometime. Don't be like them. Or if you don't open up a book, take a class or something. Study something, learn something, enrich yourself. The more you know, the more you can do, the more you can be, the more you can see. But don't bring too many pikemen with you. It's not going to be necessary. Go for it. Is this the end? Yes, it is. Can't get over that high attack 32 after the benefits from Elwin. Sterling stuff. And the village is nearby, and that's where we're going to stop Morgan once and for all. And thus concludes Scenario 5, Roar of the Beast. Everybody, thanks as always for the support. Please remember to join me next time for Scenario 6, and until then, have a fantastic day. And hopefully, see you soon.